So you've mentioned today the growth mindset, which is the work of Dr. Carol Dweck. And I think you and I in earlier conversations have chatted about that. So maybe just share with the people listening a little bit about the growth mindset from a golf perspective and from your experience, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, so I think that it's proven the pudding that a fixed mindset versus the growth mindset, there's a real difference between the two, and those with a fixed mindset are very rigid and very polar in the way that they see the world. It is or it isn't. I'm good at math, I'm bad at math. I can play golf, I can't play golf. You were born with this ability, like it's a God-given talent. Like that's very fixed, it's very rigid. And I'm afraid like a lot of people, I don't know whether it's a human trait or whether that's something that is bred into them, or what's the word I'm looking for? It's a nurtured thing into them. Is that it's this self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh well, the parent says, "Don't worry about my boy or my girl. You're not good at maths. Like you weren't born with a mathematical brain." And so this kind of gets embedded in your head that this is how the world works and this is how it is. So, and I'm afraid that becomes very rigid and very stiff in the way that you see the world, and really that puts a limit on what you can achieve. And it's very sad. And I have had a number of students who we've worked with who it's very hard to unpick that and unpack that and actually change that around. So on the opposite side, obviously, we've got the growth mindset, which is I believe that I can get better at something. I start and I don't know how to drive a car, right? Well, then I get in a car and then I realize that I really don't know how to drive a car. Then I've got my instructor who teaches me how to drive the car, and eventually the instructor gets out and I drive the car without even knowing, without even thinking. So we've gone from, unconsciously incompetent, and I know that if I learn and I grow and I practice, I can become unconsciously competent at the end. And so whether that's playing golf or like learning how to drive or whatever it is, maths, whatever, I mean, and I think inherently we all know that that's really how the brain works. And the brain has this wonderful ability to adapt and build and grow. And we've got this thing called neuroplasticity, which is how the brain morphs and changes as it learns, and we start to create these neural pathways around a movement pattern or a thought process that is then embedded into my psyche or my cognitive ability. So that we've certainly seen a lot more success with people who have a growth mindset versus the fixed mindset.